Welcome to our channel. Today we will be exploring a topic that is both fascinating and sobering: life in occupied Paris during World War II. The City of Light was plunged into darkness as the Nazis took control, bringing with them destruction and oppression. However, amidst the chaos, there were those who refused to be silent, who stood up against the occupiers and fought for their freedom. In this video, we will delve into the daily lives of Parisians during this turbulent time, and examine the ways in which resistance manifested itself. From the underground networks of the French resistance to the everyday acts of defiance by ordinary citizens, we will uncover the stories that shaped this period of history. So, sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and join us as we explore life in occupied Paris, destruction and resistance. And if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to our channel, liking the video, and leaving a comment below. Your support helps us continue to create informative content. Life in occupied Paris, destruction and resistance. Paris during the Nazi occupation was a city of contradictions. On one hand, there was the destruction and devastation wrought by the Germans. On the other hand, there was the resistance movement that fought to keep Paris alive and free. The destruction was everywhere. The Nazis bombed buildings and bridges, and the French resistance sabotaged enemy installations. The whole city was in disarray, with rubble everywhere and food and supplies scarce. The Nazis also began deporting Jews and other undesirables, leading to the tragic loss of life. But the Parisians didn't give up. They formed resistance groups, like the famous Maquis, and carried out daring acts of sabotage. They printed and distributed underground newspapers, like Combat and Libération, to keep hope alive. And they sheltered Jews and other refugees, risking their own lives to do so. The resistance was a diverse group, made up of men and women, young and old, from all walks of life. Some were former soldiers, others were students or artists. But they were all united in their determination to fight back against the oppressive Nazi regime. One of the most famous acts of resistance was the liberation of Paris in August 1944. The resistance fighters, along with the Allied forces, took back the city from the Germans in a dramatic battle that lasted several days. It was a turning point in the war, and it marked the beginning of the end for the Nazis. But even after the liberation, Paris was still a city in ruins. It would take many years to rebuild and recover from the devastation of war. The scars of occupation would remain for a long time, but the spirit of resistance and resilience would endure. In the end, life in occupied Paris was a struggle between destruction and resistance. The Germans tried to break the will of the Parisians, but they couldn't destroy their spirit. And in the end, it was that spirit that triumphed over tyranny.